As we prepare for this weekend's winter weather event, we're also looking back at the biggest snowstorm ever to hit Raleigh 26 years ago this weekend. Look at that. Oh.
Yeah, if you were here, you remember this. 20 inches of snow fell on that day. Meteorologists Elizabeth Gardner and Mike Mays, they were here, and they reflect on one of the biggest weather stories of their careers.
I'm meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Y'all know that I'm a huge snow lover, and being here for 28 years, almost my very favorite event in my entire career at WRAL was the 20.3 inches of snow that we got in January of 2000. And meteorologist Mike Mays is here to talk about that historic event with me.
Oh yeah, and growing up in Miami, I could not fathom something like this. And my first time seeing snow was 21 years old. So trying to forecast something like this was, in my head, mind-blowing. I couldn't even fathom something like this happening.
Well, nothing like this had ever happened before, and it hasn't happened since. I have very vivid memories of this because I'm such a snow lover. I remember I was working weekends at the time, and on Sunday, I'd started to put some snow in the forecast, and I felt a bit nervous about it. And then as we got into Monday, it started on Monday night, the models started jumping on it, and we're like, oh, okay, you know, we're going to forecast some snow. Well, that evening, it was raining, and then it started to change over, and we didn't have all the cameras that we have now. We didn't have as good observations, so I called into the station and I said, hey, it started to change over to snow.
And she's getting excited.
And I'm getting excited, and I heard the models are printing out 2 inches of liquid now. And Mike, you know what that means?
Oh yeah, and if it was all snow, it would be what?
20 inches
of snow.
And we laughed and laughed. We're like, haha, the models are out to lunch again. But
so the interesting thing is, I worked your shift at the time. So I got off at noon or 1 o'clock, and we were forecasting 2 to 4 inches of snow. That's what the models were pumping out. And at the time, they put me up at the Velvet Cloak Inn on Hillsborough Street because we thought, okay, you know, I wouldn't be able to get home to Apex. And so they put me up in the hotel. When I went to bed around 6 o'clock in the evening, there was nothing. It was just raining a little bit. But when I woke up around 12:30, 1 o'clock, I looked out the window. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? There was more than 2 to 4 inches of snow.
And here's the timeline. So it started around 6 o'clock or so. By 11 o'clock, we had 3 to 6 inches. So it really was coming down. It was a really moisture-laden storm. We had a foot by 1 a.m. and then by 5 a.m. we had 15 inches. And it continued to snow into the next day, and it shut the entire town down.
We had officially 20.3 inches of snow out at RDU.
So Wake County schools were out for 2 weeks, and at one point, like 3 or 4 days into it, I tried to go to the grocery store, and the grocery store was still closed.
And what's amazing about all this, if we had the models that we have now back then, I think we would have pegged it, but the models were, it's like going from analog to digital, from the way the models were then to they are now. And so the technology is so much more advanced that what happened then would probably not happen today.
But I would love it if it did.
Yeah.